song, I'm telling you. Sunshine.
G'day.
Oh,
I'm just sharing it
I've
out.
got the cord. I've got enough charge. I can go without that in the bottom, so I can balance it now. The fush. How are we, Wally? Hey, Sunshine, how are we?
I'm good, and Klaus is also good. This is little Klaus.
G'day,
Klaus
Sunshine.
Hello.
G'day, everybody in the chat. You better have dropped a like. I just shared it out, Monty, so heaps of people should see it soon. Bong on. That joint, Sunshine, that looks like.
This is the berry blast.
Ooh!
And it
There you
still
go.
smells good. It smells
Jeff,
beautiful.
I'm not surprised.
Mm.
I've got the topaz, but it's not the topaz.
Yep,
Smells good as
Kitty
well.
Schwab.
Yeah, that's the Canby.
Looks 10 out of 10.
Do you like Canby better than Topaz?
Well, no, the effect isn't there. Well, I mean, when you really want something to really knock you out, you got to have the hash, the topaz and the bubble hash. But for me, like the topaz is like, you know, so. It can put you to sleep if you do it right. But like for me, the Canby is like a good all rounder. You can get sent to bed from it, but it's not really it won't send you to sleep. It's just a pleasant indica. So the flavor's there for me. That's why I'm buying this. And it's second best, but you know, Topaz still is unfortunately the best.
So the Canby's got
Still
like a
rate
nice
Topaz better than that.
The only reason I don't want to buy it is because of the mold issues. And if I get mold, then here's the problem. If I get mold, then I'm screwed. I can't do anything about it. They're just going to blame me for it. And that's what they've shown to do with other people as well. It's not just me.
What? They blame other people for it, don't you?
I've seen another person who got blamed for the mold and when it wasn't even their issue. And Canatrek, oh, bro, it was so terrible. Like,
So they're trying to say that people are getting their pot, taking it out there and spraying it with fucking water or something to make it go moldy on purpose.
If you go to Canatrek's Instagram profile picture, so Instagram, and you look at their most two recent posts, I've commented on one of them, and one of them has someone else who has the same issue as me. And I was surprised to see that, so there you go. But I don't know, I just don't want to support Canatrek. I'd rather enjoy other flowers that exist on the market, but nothing's as consistent, you know, as Topaz is for the price. Topaz is like a Lego brick.
Sorry.
I want to get another. No, don't be sorry. I want to get a new strain. I want to replace the Topaz. I'm sick of giving money to Canatrek. The hash is good. I'll probably only buy the hash because there won't be a mold issue there, and I'll just buy the Canatrek Urban Leaf cartridges because they are Canatrek products. So, Sativite the way, and this is a Sativite nug. Ooh! Oh, ain't that the worst? This is just, this has got to go through the vape. This is 10 out of 10. Sticky to the touch. 10 out of 10.
Fucking hell. I'll try to find this article. There's an article came out today about how they reckon by the end of next year we'll have recreational here.
Yeah, I saw that on a current affair and I was like, no way. If a current affair's talking about that, I can't believe it. Legit.
The Greens are going to push for it.
They bloody better. It's the only thing they're good for. Come on,
the
Greens.
Fuck wouldn't anyone want to do it? I don't understand what anyone would have against it.
Why in God's name would they leave the ACT as the only state and then say, no, you know what? If you want it, you can't have it. ACT is the place to go. That's just ridiculous.
That it is.
One thing I'm not clear about with the rules in the ACT. So you're allowed to grow 2 plants. Is the plant not allowed to exceed 150 grams of wet? Is that the thing?
As soon as you cut it, you're in trouble. If it's more than 150 grams,
whatever you want. You can grow a 15-pounder, but once you cut it,
you're breaking. Yep.
Bullshit.
It's pretty hard.
Do you know what the government would say? Take it down bit and a bit and dry it bit and a bit. But how are you going to use it?
Yeah, and like you wouldn't be able to do a bit anyway because it's only 30 grams dried, and not 50 grams dried, 150
fresh.
It's
50 dry, 150 dry, fresh. It's hilarious though.
It's set up to fail. Like they did sort of fucking when they
At
did
least
that.
They have somewhere that has it. You know,
they've gone for maximum greed.
The laws can always be extended once they've let the cat out of the bag. You know, so to speak. You can't really, repeal the law.
They can. That's why we've had prohibition a couple of times, like with alcohol. Like fucking, we haven't actually Australia, but fucking they did in America. Tried to do that. Yeah.
It's like they're trialing slightly different policy all around the world to see which one is going to work best for them, or it's like a big experiment.
Yeah, for sure.
Monty, were you there when I scraped all that clean? I'm pretty sure you were. That was a good joint. That looks clean now. That was a good joint when I smoked it.
I don't know how you got so much all over that.
Oh, it's just like from not putting it in properly. So when I pack it, sometimes with the topaz, there's keef that sticks on the side, and then I try and push it down as much as I can. But then when I push this in it, it just ends up, getting caught on the side, and so I'll have to I don't know, it just melts.
I noticed a little sieve bit up the top gets very. We're waiting for more people, Dan. But
I shared it out, so it should be fine. Everyone should roll in soon.
That thing loaded. Oh, is that what you're looking for? That thing on the pot? What have you got for us tonight anyway, Sunshine?
Huh?
Yeah, Sunshine.
Heaps of news built up.
Oh, I wasn't ready. I didn't know this was going to happen. So I don't really. I'm just. I've got a couple of videos to show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The good news. They better hurry up and make it happen.
So what's happening? What are you specifically referring to?
Specifically, what do we want to go down?
Yeah, that's right. Russia's mobilizing.
Yep.
I saw that. Yeah, Russia's 300,000 people they're getting in.
Yeah.
They'll do it in waves.
And can mobilise up to 1 million if they did for full mobilisation.
Do you know what's hilarious?
But apparently most of these people only get 2 weeks basic training before they're shipped off. Because they have to plug holes out desperately.
It's not really hilarious, but if you go and protest against the what's it called that's going on now, you get drafted.
Yep.
So there you go.
People protesting against it. That was always going to happen. Protesting if you're a military male and protesting between that military age, you're getting shipped off straight away.
Yeah,
you're probably the first ones off too. You won't even get the 2 weeks basic training. You just sent straight off to plug the gaps. Ain't no training. Signed your life away when you protested.
Gee, that's pretty bad though. But it's true. Well, what can you do?
Yeah, not much for us. They can try.
Canby Cone.
I've got Iran and Syria, Turkey, all the borders there are on full on. Half of Iran's in flames at the moment.
What's happening in Iran? I haven't even looked into that.
Kurdish girl was killed for having a little bit of her hair hanging out of her burqa. Iranian freaking IRGC arrested her and she died while in their custody. And so the whole place is
How is that
berserk.
productive at any point? They probably killed her to, have their way with her.
I think she was raped and that's why they did kill her.
Okay,
There's
this isn't
allegations of that coming out of there.
What do you think?
Man, that's not the nicest. Well, no, I was, making a joke of the Iranian.
Because they would have seen her. She
people,
deserved
Iranian
to be raped
police
for having her hair hanging out. Maybe.
Yeah, see, that's the sort of thing that they would say, but like only if they're
Iran's
hardcore
pretty
enough
harsh.
to take someone's life for a little bit of hair fucking hanging out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just primitive behavior. I don't understand. Like Iran's like
It's a bit
supposed to be like
sad
a
more than
modern sort of.
Skull Baby got chopped, Brandon.
How old was she again?
Skull Baby. Hey.
How old? No age.
Norris and Watson.
Bong on, vape on.
Being
So this
sent a little bit
bag-
of stuff on COVID and like vaccine and stuff for
Oh, yeah,
Pfizer.
I've got something on that.
A dude that left Pfizer a few years ago, I think he was vice president or something, has come out with a few videos against them.
Yeah, Mike.
Talking about T cells and shit.
Mike Yeadon. So he's released heaps of stuff. He's been speaking publicly for since COVID began. He's completely against it. He was the ex-head researcher / vice president, and then he's released completely anti-establishment now. He's got his own vaccine company, so he's not anti-vaccine. He just speaks about the spike protein and how it's basically it's dangerous technology. It could go very badly. It could play havoc with people's immune systems. So I've got something on that to play. It's like a 20-minute video. But yeah, if people haven't seen Mike Yeadon, definitely check him out. He's very good to watch.
G'day, Fegro. You missed it. There was a bag, and the bag was empty. And I was gonna say that, like, this one bag, it looks like there's nothing in there, but it gets you really stoned, and it does.
Nice.
Romp in a bag.
No fair. How are you, mate?
Chilling, bro. How's it going? Conspiracy time. Conspiracy time.
What are you session on tonight?
That's the conspiracy.
I've pulled a muscle in my back somehow. Oh, I've really done it now. Painful. Can't even move it back into place.
How's it going, everybody? Sunshiners?
Oh.
Did everybody enjoy the football? Or did you guys watch the football? Is that the big news?
Someone else in the background.
I'm glad Geelong won.
Norris, we're just going to have to see that you're a real person because we get smeckoed a bit. Yeah, sweet. There we go.
G'day.
Isn't that the objective, to get smeckoed?
No, it's not.
Big up the Aussies. Hello?
Hello, man.
Hey,
How are you, brother?
Norris.
How we doing, boys? You all right?
Yeah, all
First
right.
time I've
Not
ever been in your
bad,
chat. I
mate.
just thought I'd jump on and say hello.
Yeah, all good, man.
All
Fucking
seems very
awesome.
reasonable in this corner of YouTube.
So far.
So far, so good. So what's
Definitely. You
the
into your
subject?
ganja?
COVID?
Oh, sorry. You build up your zoots there, Norris? You like the ganja?
I
Yeah.
smoke the the odd doobie here and there, mate. But I'm into boxing really more than anything. I've got a bit of a channel.
Nice. This isn't my
Not that it
channel.
matters,
It's
mate.
mine. I'll leave it to mine.
All boring, really. Nothing decent. I just come across your channel and it sounded like you were having a decent conversation.
Awesome.
So, yeah. What's your
Don't
opinion?
have any set topic for tonight, actually.
What's your opinion so far?
What, with
regarding
COVID?
the pandemic?
I think that there's no way of you or me ever comprehending what a group of rich men have come up with. It's that you can guess, you can say, because that's all it is. I think everything is just, there's a group of powerful men that probably run everything, and me and you would just be guessing at this point. So I try not to guess too much because it does my head in. But I know one thing.
Yeah.
Everything is about a financial gain with these people, and there's probably something they were trying to sell you along the line, and it's like the energy crisis is at the moment. I believe that's all. It's just all to. It's very hard to say what it is they're actually after. Maybe like a one world order, so you're all terrified. I don't know. It's difficult to say, innit?
Are you familiar with the Agenda 21 document?
No, mate. Like I say, I try not to look too much, but I probably would look that up if it's worth looking up.
That lays it out exactly what they're doing. So, yeah, it's all in
I'll
there.
have to check that out, mate.
Yeah.
But like I say, I'm not overly well read on things. I just know that whatever you're told, it's definitely something different, and there's always a financial gain at the end of it for somebody that's higher up than you are. So don't question it, or you'll go to prison.
It's a very large and boring document that no one would ever read. That's
the point of it, I suppose, isn't it? Yeah.
What happens when they bring in policy like that? They have to make it public, but they do it in a way that they know no one's ever going to sort of look into it.
I get you. Disguise it with certain
legal reasons.
Yeah. I watched a bit of that Ben Shapiro, is it? I don't know what you think of him. Is it Ben Shapiro or something? You know, the Jewish lad.
No.
I read
Ben
his stuff.
Shapiro, political activist.
I think he needs to take some psilocybin or something and understand what it is before he does it. But he's a very educated person. But like, if he ever did psychedelics, it would completely expand his mind. That he would be like, oh, I didn't realize this is possible. Because he's quite close-minded with a lot of things, and he thinks life is a certain way. And if it's not that way, then he's against it. And there's nothing wrong with that. He's a Jewish man, but like, you can be Jewish and you can. Anyway, no comment. I'm not forcing him. He shouldn't. No one should be forced to do psychedelics, but he should at least open up his mind and read into it and go, okay, the scientific studies have said this is a possibility. Let's really, because he's a logical person. He's not going to go, okay, and just ignore something once he's seen what it really is.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, I don't know what psychedelics you've ever done, mate, but the ones I've ever done just turned me into a brain dead on the couch. I might be doing the wrong ones, eh? I think I did a bit of mushrooms in Amsterdam once and ended up nearly dead on couch. The only thing it expanded, mate, was my stomach when I was throwing up in the morning.
How many did you have?
Well, listen, like
100.
Yeah, I just lost the plot in a park in Amsterdam and thought, you know what? I don't think they're for me.
Yeah,
that's understandable.
Depends on what kind, would it? Because
that Ben Shapiro, like you say, he's an intelligent guy, but I've never understood the religion side. Because I mean, we're living in a world today where you at your fingertips right now. I'm speaking to a load of guys in Australia. It's like Star Trek stuff. We're living in an era where technology has just took over, and you cannot be telling people you're going to be slayed if you. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit silly talk, really, isn't it?
I do agree. It's almost that sort of one thing that people choose to have like a belief, whether it's true or not. They just want to ignorantly believe it. But here's one thing. I reckon Ben Shapiro, he believes his Jewish faith 100% because he thinks, right, whether or not it's legit or not, if his faith is, he believes that it's like so higher that it'll get to the point that, you know, it's been around for so long that all these people that have believed in it, they must know, or like, I'm not trying to say they know something that other people don't, but he's saying
They're scared,
like
mate.
it's a
They're
tradition.
because they know we're all worm food, and they have to come
Because
up with this
if
thing
you
in their
look at
head
it,
that makes them
if
feel
you look
better.
at it realistically, it's something to control people by. But then if you look at it from a different perspective, everyone gathers and believes something. So will everyone have that placebo effect when they die and go and meet that sort of thing? I don't know if that's legit, but the placebo effect is super strong to the point that people live their lives dedicated, thinking that this is what's going to happen when they die. So like people from generations ago kept doing this sort of stuff. So certain people, I don't know, it's a bit
It's
weird. It's
ingrained
like,
in your mind, isn't it?
yeah,
It's from being a
it's
child, they
either
ingrain it, don't
exact.
they?
I'm
Easy
not
way of
Jewish. I'm
controlling.
just
It's an easy
saying.
answer as well for people. A lot of people, they need that easy answer. I'm not bothered. I know I'm worm food. I know life's shit. Then you croak, and then you worm food, and I'm fine with that. I live life understanding facts, and it helps me move on. I'm not as depressed. If I start thinking that I've got to live my life by a set of 10 commandments, I'm just depressed out of my head. But yeah, it works for some people. It works for my mum. It just don't work for me.
What part of the landscape are you in, North? What city?
I'm from the UK, mate. I'm from the UK.
And what city? Which area?
I'm around Manchester area.
Oh, right. Nice.
It's a shithole, mate.
I've been
It's
to
a
London a
shithole.
couple of times. My mum's got a friend from there.
Yeah.
She's over there.
What's the crack in Australia? Are they still going through all the COVID stuff?
Oh, not really. It's kind
It's all
of all
gone now,
slowed
that.
down. It's still around, but it's not as drastic as it was 6 months
Do you not
ago.
think it's crazy though that a couple of months ago everyone needed to stay in their houses, everyone was going to die, and now it don't really exist? That's the bit that I can't get my head around. It's either a killer virus that you've got to stay at home and avoid everybody, or it's not. Which one is it? I don't get it. I'm confused.
Actually, you're actually confused. Like,
yeah, I'm
so
actually
what
confused
they
because
do, that fear is how they control people. They just carpet bomb everyone with fear 24 hours a day, and people go into this survival mode, like flight mode or freeze mode or whatever you want to call it.
fight or
And
flight.
when they do that, they can bring in policies for our safety that are going to change our lives forever, and that people don't really argue about too much. So
yeah, I agree with that.
that's why that was done. And then
Hope both your
of course you
grandmothers
ask
get
who
that.
did it, who's doing it. Very, as you said, rich people. There's like 200 of them. I saw a list once, and it's, you know, Rothschilds and Rockefellers and other oligarchs. They're super wealthy, super rich, and they generally dictate policy.
I have a question for you.
On a global scale.
I have a question for you. The question is, do you believe that group of people are looking out for the general? So, like,
No.
what they're doing is they're making decisions that they believe are good for the general population, for the whole world, right?
They've never done that.
Or
never.
Do you think they're doing it for other reasons?
Well, they've been establishing their hold over the world through industry such as agriculture, pharmaceutical, military, etc.
Yeah.
They've done that. Now they want to continue. So it's all about maintaining power. You know what I mean? And to do that, they have to take hold of resources, which is what they did in the Middle East. They've got virtually, like, if you look at any wars that have had, like the Middle East, for example, it's the BlackRock, Vanguard sort of companies that are getting the sort of getting access to the resources, to the poppy, etc. Anything that's worth in the billions, they sort of move in. So you ask yourself, like, who's really profiting? Well, it's them. And They are, their identity is undisclosed. So if you look at who's the main, say, shareholder of BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street, whoever it is, these megacorp, sort of international level companies that don't really abide by any specific laws.
Yeah, they're above the law. When you get to a certain financial status,
and if
you're
you look
above it,
them up,
aren't
you're
you?
not going to find any answers. It doesn't say any names. Like, it's unknown.
As soon as you start talking trillions, mate, they can disappear.
That's right. Once you get into the trillions, they're gone. They're global. They don't answer to anyone. Really.
Listen, boys, I'm going to listen in the background, but it's been very nice to meet you. I've got to go and take the wife to work, but I'll be listening in. It's a great channel. Buzz off.
Thank you very much, bro. Have a good one,
mate. It just randomly put me onto you.
Norris.
Awesome.
Go and give me a sub. Go and give me a sub. Go and say hello to me when I do lives myself. Big up.
Will do, nice, for sure.
Have a good one, Norris. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's a bit. Boy, put another shrimp on the barbie.
No, I definitely believe it's real, but the responses were bad.
Anyway, you should play this video if you want. Unless you can be fucked talking.
No,
I pulled a muscle in my back and I can't even inhale to my fullest. That's so shit, man. I can't breathe in full. Just cut my lung capacity by half.
I've only just
play
been
this
able
video.
to sleep properly for the last 3 nights on my right hand.
Oh
side,
no!
again.
Sleep is essential.
Yep, and it was so bad for like 7 weeks now, 8 weeks, longer. It's got to be almost 10 weeks or something like that since it got dislocated. I can't believe it takes that long.
What?
For the tendons and muscles to settle down from a dislocated shoulder.
Yeah, that's crazy. As you get older, everything takes fucking forever.
Yeah.
When you're younger, like in your 20s, like
you're fine. You wouldn't have even dislocated your shoulder.
And then you get to 40 and you're like, yeah, it's fucking.
Yeah, it's the only thing that keeps me telling me I'm old. Otherwise, I'd run around like I was 16 still. But the body doesn't let me.
Be right back.
You got to take a once-a-day vitamin, and then you'll be all right.
I've got to get some resistance. I've got to go get a resistance band actually to make my rotator cuff.
Should I
lay on my side and lift a weight at the moment, doing it like that. The elastic band would be better.
Yeah, I've got an Achilles thing going. Not fun.
Definitely not, Frank. I'm sure there's new bacteria and new shit coming into life every day.
All right, I'll share.
Nice. When they bend over a little bit, there's that little, you can see their G-banger. Just the V, the Y actually, it's a Y.
Let me share.
Hey, Gobby. How are you, brother? Yeah. Add the stream.
Complications of SARS-CoV-2 and COVID-19. Damaged heart muscle cells. Welcome to another MedCram COVID-19 update. That's the title of an article about brand new research that was presented at the American Heart Association, but has not yet been published. We're going to talk about this research, which basically shows, number one, that the spike protein on heart muscle cells is directly toxic, and that it doesn't use the ACE2 receptor to cause the damage in question. As you know, there's been a lot of talk about the cardiovascular complications of SARS-CoV-2 and COVID-19. Even in some of the vaccines, there's been some reports and studies showing inflammation of the heart tissue known as myocarditis. So as always, we are going to go ahead and put the links in the description below of all of these articles and studies that we're going to talk about. But let's get down to what these researchers actually did. So this study was performed at the Masonic Medical Research Institute in Utica, New York. And the lead author of the study and the assistant professor there was Dr. Ju-Chung Lin. So what they did was they looked at a mouse model, and they wanted to infect mice in two different ways to show the difference between the spike protein and other coronavirus spike proteins, specifically the SARS-CoV-2 and another human coronavirus. Now, the first thing you need to understand is that mice cells have an ACE2 receptor, but it is completely different than the ACE2 receptor that we see.
Now, Frank,
in fact, the ACE2 receptor in mice do not interact in any way with the spike protein on SARS-CoV-2. The next thing that they did was they took a viral vector. Now, let me explain a little bit of what a viral vector is.
Yep.
Viral vector is basically a way of delivering genetic information to the cell that you want to deliver it to. And that viral vector is able to infect that cell and to transmit that genetic material to the nucleus of the cell. In this case, they used the adeno-associated virus type 9. That's AAV9. And if you want to know more about adeno-associated virus vectors, I point you to this research article that just came out in March of this year that's actually showing that it may actually be a way of getting the COVID-19 virus into cells to develop antibodies. And so if you want to understand more about how these virus vectors are used, which could give you some more information in terms of what we're about to talk about, I think this would be a great article, and we'll put that in the link below. So what we're doing here is we're setting up two different conditions. As you can see, we have a viral vector here on the left and a viral vector here on the right, and we're going to infect the same type of cells. The first thing that they did was they cloned the SARS-CoV-2 virus spike protein. Now, in the transcript presented at the American Heart Association, they did not specify which variant it was that they cloned. In other words, it could have been Omicron, it could have been Delta, could have been Alpha, Beta, P1, could have been the original. We don't know which spike protein they were referring to. Hopefully that will come out in the manuscript. And once they got that spike protein sequence, they then put it into the viral vector as a portion of the DNA. And they did the same thing with a human coronavirus. This is a virus that would give you a cold. It could give you some respiratory issues, but it would never cause any problems with your heart. HCoV-NL63. So they sequenced that spike protein and they included that DNA in the viral vector. So of course, these viral vectors have spike proteins on their surface. And a key point to understand here is that the spike proteins from both respective viruses actually interact with the ACE2 receptor on humans, but they don't interact with the ACE2 receptor in mice. So that's important to understand. Let me say that again. Both spike proteins are able to interact with the ACE2 receptor on human beings, but neither of these interact with the ACE2 receptor on the surface of heart cells in mice. So what happens is the viral vectors infect the cell of the mice, and the DNA goes into the nucleus where it becomes double-stranded, and then it starts to transcribe into messenger RNA. The messenger RNA then makes the spike proteins. And the spike proteins, of course, are put on the surface of the cells. And of course, just to be clear here, I'm drawing a line here because these are two different events that are occurring, but I'm showing it as one here, and I'm just dividing this to show you that this is happening here on the left in one situation, and this is happening here on the right in a different situation. And so those cells that are infected with AAV9 with the SARS-CoV-2 spike, of course, they make the spike proteins on the surface. They also have some, of course, in the cytoplasm, and some of them actually get secreted out into the extracellular space. And that happens not only for SARS-CoV-2 spike, but also for the human CoV-NL63 as well. And of course, I want to reinforce here that the ACE2 enzyme in this particular mouse cell is not being deactivated. Nothing is happening to the ACE2 receptor here. The ACE2 receptor continues to function normally because, again, none of these spike proteins that you see anywhere on this page are interacting with the mouse ACE2 receptor. What happens next? What they found is that there were a number of proteins and inflammation that was occurring here with the SARS-CoV-2 spike protein, but not with the HCOV-NL63 spike experiment on the right side. What they found was a number of proteins along with the spike protein over here on the left, specifically called the toll-like receptor 4. So what is the toll-like receptor 4? It's a protein that is attached to natural killer cells that tells the natural killer cells that this is something that should not be there. It's part of the innate immune system. It does not require previous infection. This is something that innately the immune system knows should not be there and goes after it. In addition to all of these toll-like receptor 4s, there was a lot of inflammation and also enlargement of these cells. So the cells grew in size, became dysfunctional, and also became inflamed. And if you want to read more about toll-like receptors in natural killer cells and their application for immunotherapy and some basic information about this, you can read here in this article, which we'll put a link to in the description below. But just to satisfy some of your curiosity here, you can see that cells involved in the innate immune system response were initially speculated to be non-specific eliminate microbes without pre-sensitization. However, studies have reported that the innate immune cells recognize microbial-associated or pathogen-associated molecular patterns. And that is exactly what is happening here on this side, but not happening in this experiment where there is a regular HCOV-NL63 spike protein, which means to say that there's something about the spike protein after it is created in the natural environment of the cardiac cell in mice here that causes a reaction that has nothing to do with shutting down the ACE2 receptor. Let me say that again. There's something about the spike protein, specifically with SARS-CoV-2, that is not the same as the spike protein, which, by the way, hits the same receptor in human beings, the ACE2 receptor. Something different that does not cause inflammation here, but does over here. So there must be a protein or a pathogen-associated molecular pattern, or PAMP, that is triggering the response here on this side, but is not triggering the response here on this side. And again, because the ACE2 receptor in mice are different than those in humans, and because neither of these spike proteins affects the ACE2 receptor in mice, we cannot say that this is an ACE2-mediated inflammatory reaction. What the authors of this study don't know is whether or not it is spike protein that is bound to the surface of the cell, or whether it is soluble proteins that are causing this reaction to occur, and that is going to be the source of more information shortly. The question is this the mechanism that's going on right now with myocarditis and inflammatory conditions of the heart in patients who get SARS-CoV-2? And could it also be some of the reasons why people who get vaccines get also inflammation of the heart? It's worth pointing out at this point that not everybody with SARS-CoV-2 gets inflammation of the heart muscle, and certainly not everybody who gets SARS-CoV-2 vaccine gets heart muscle inflammation. So the question is what is it that causes some people to get it and others not? Of course, there are differences in genetics, there's differences in environment, there may be differences in the amount of spike protein. There's also some question about the type of spike protein. We said here that the SARS-CoV-2 spike protein was sequenced and is the reason why we have this spike protein on this viral vector. We don't know which variant of SARS-CoV-2 it was. What about vaccine-derived spike protein? Well, as it turns out, the spike protein that is sequenced and put into the vaccines, specifically the Moderna, the Pfizer, the Johnson & Johnson, and the Novavax, are actually significantly different in a specific way from the spike protein in the SARS-CoV-2. Now, would that be enough to make a difference or not? Well, we don't know. That study has not been performed. For those of you who are regular MedCram listeners will know that the spike protein was specifically engineered in the vaccines to stay in the pre-fusion complex. That was work that was done by Jason McClellan out of the University of Texas in Austin.
While he's getting bored, sunshine.
Specifically used in the development of
While he's going to fall asleep.
Vaccine and also the Novavax vaccine. And specifically, the purpose of that was to keep the spike protein fused in a specific.
really.
I don't know whether what they're doing might not be new, right? But applying it to cold and flu viruses is. That's what caused the Spanish flu outbreak. Was trying to make a flu vaccine in the US. It's proven that it started in the US now. It got called Spanish flu because Spain were the first people to report it in the newspapers.
I found out that AIDS come from poliovirus.
Poliovirus?
Well, yeah, that's what I was told. I didn't look it up.
I heard that it was a fucking disease only found in chimpanzees.
Yeah,
It
something
somehow
happened.
was transferred into people, and they don't know how.
Yeah, they used like chimp stool or something, like some chimp DNA, and that allegedly had the virus in it. And they gave it to heaps of people.
It doesn't affect chimpanzees like it fucking affects us either.
It seems a bit weird that they would give it out to heaps of people without testing it. Surely they wouldn't they have tested it and then gone, oh, you've got AIDS. We probably shouldn't give this to a lot of people. I'll put something else on. Something that's not so boring.
We're actually talking about AIDS, not COVID, Frank. AIDS, HIV was the only thing that was found in chimp. It was only found in chimps originally. It somehow got into people.
That was so fucking boring. Why did I play that?
They're not too bad, as long as they don't go on about it for too long. Like when they go so slow,
18 minutes.
It's like death by lecture.
I like it when
and Joseph Mengele, I know him.
Noam Chomsky. I could get lectured by Noam Chomsky all day. I don't know. He's good.
The doctor. And real death depends what the Jews and
what
wanted to call them.
Did you say Jews? Let's see. Your channel's going to get blocked now.
You may have footage on on a previous video of UFOs, Frank.
I was going to play this guy Paul Hallier from. He was the ex-defense minister of Canada. He talks about the establishment and UFOs. If you're interested, because I can't be fucked talking.
At a rate of about 5% a year.
All right, put everyone to sleep. This one. I'm gonna share a screen.
Frank, you're willing to join if you ever want. You can jump up and share those vids, mate.
I'm trying to share right now.
exactly coronavirus does, literally, man. Cold. Corona. Spiked protein flu virus, man.
Fucking hell. This
Like
guy's
pint
saw a
monster.
monster. This guy's fucking seen shit.
Giant lizard in cold water. You'd think it'd struggle. Mammals got to pack on a fair bit of fat to go down into the eye.
Huh?
Fish are cold-blooded, but they slow down. Fuck knows.
Did you learn anything from that video?
Sort of a little, at least, like, and the things weren't reacting the same in mice as it did in people. And it was one clue they should never have probably used it.
I thought all the myocarditis, pericarditis, and heart inflammation was coming from the vaccine, but it sounds like, from what he's saying, like it's happening from COVID as well.
I remember when it first came out that there was reports on it attacking the ACE2 in your lungs, right? Anybody who had high ACE2, and it's predominantly in Southeast Asian males.
God.
So it wouldn't surprise me if it could do it, but a lot of it, like, I don't know, like, I think, aren't they injecting a bit of that protein into you when they do the fucking vaccine as well? Or
yeah, what about graphene? Like, you know,
yeah,
I'm
like
seeing
a
shit about graphene.
synthetic form of it, yeah. So wonder whether that's why the inflammation is being blamed on.
Yeah, I think Spain, they're doing a lot of research on the
This is all
graphene.
just our opinion, nothing real.
There's Rumble, Rumble, BitChute. You can find all this stuff. Doctors from like medical professionals from Spain doing research on the graphene. You know, on the vaccines. But yeah, I don't know what the fuck to believe. I really don't. It's part of it, not knowing what the fuck's happening.
Yeah.
You just got to
like
accept
Norris was saying, do your head in.
Yeah, Ziggy, how are you?
And imagining all the crap shit that goes on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad I can say I haven't ever seen one. Hey, Zay, how are you, brother?
What the fuck?
Hey. I was stuffing my face.
Oh, yeah.
Cooking and eating more, and then
nice one, Oz.
Drinking food, ate that. Then I'm like, oh, feel much time.
Fuck, you know.
I totally forgot.
That's all right.
How'd you go?
I just play a really boring video.
Good family film.
Just one. Only one, sunshine.
Yeah, I got another one.
I'm sure it was good. Hey, Zay, how are you, man?
No, it wasn't. It was boring.
I appreciate you.
Fucking
all inconclusive.
Guess what I found? Guess what I found? I was consolidating jars and burping jars, and not like I'm lazing around when I'm not here. I'm doing something. I found some critical gorilla, so I'm going to hit some critical gorilla.
So it's like a CBD.
I love that I hoard things, and I hide things away in little other jars and shit.
Is that like CBD indica?
It's the first time I ever grew it. The bean came from Zaya.
Bet Mark will know exactly what it is.
Critical Kush and Gorilla Glue, I believe. I don't know.
I'm smoking sativa. It's kind of quite cerebral.
Cerebro.
Yeah.
Man.
Did you? Oh, fuck.
We had someone in yesterday who popped into the chat for a bit, dropped a few comments about weed, and then started to talk about how they were part of the people that moved the alien bodies, or
Oh yeah.
like you need to come back tomorrow for the 420 conspiracy show.
Yeah. Sounds like a troll.
Yeah, I know what was going on.
Should chuck on some real hardcore like 9/11 shit. We should do a vote, maybe ask people if they want to see 9/11 or ex-defense minister of Canada talking about UFOs and the establishment.
Keep it simple, Ross. Legends. That's why everyone always seems to fucking fluke the first go, man, because you don't really know. You're just out there fucking admiring and loving them, giving them love, just fucking. And then when you fucking pull it off awesome, you're like fucking yeah, and then you like start reading shit, overcomplicating your head and start doing lots of stupid little shit to them. Fuck them.
This time they'll be fucking huge.
Yeah, thinking you're gonna triple them this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure happens every time.
And then they die. You're like, why? What did I do?
Best I got to see was a meteor explode, fucking come through the sky and fucking explode. I've never seen weird lights. I've seen some fucking bigger, bright light fucking out in the middle of the Nullarbor. I don't know what that was and didn't really want to find out. I just put myself, if I could tell it was coming my way, I was going to put the foot down. But if it could cover that kind of distance, that wasn't going to save me.
Everything
Thank God
I've
it
seen,
didn't.
I can explain, except for one thing.
I agree, Wally.
So far away that there was no detail, so it was a point of light. So, yeah, I'm just like, not good enough. I want to see like the material making up the ship. You know, maybe a silhouette of someone through a window. That's like how close I want to be. But I've seen like the space station cruise past when I've been out fishing. That's pretty big. It's visible to the naked eye, and discern the shape of it is discernible. Not just like a point of light. You go, what the fuck is that? Space station.
Yeah. Changed the whole world with security and shit. That didn't.
Wow. Did you see the new Prime Minister of Italy? The Prime Minister? Yeah. She's hardcore. Hardcore.
I sent Monty something the other day. I don't think it was Italy. I think it was Greece. Close. But they were turning off lights on bridges, lights on streets, even lights in buildings, and lights on buildings, turning them all off in an effort to conserve electricity.
Fuck, people commenting in the. I can't even remember what I said. It's not good. The memory is a problem.
I'm always.
Fuck.
Skinwalker Ranch.
That is the problem right there.
I think if there was anything there, they fucking cleaned it all out there before they ever let fucking civvies onto there.
Skinny Walker. And they look. Before the government decided they were going to take over the place, I thought full of
right
shit.
wing. She's right wing.
And then the government took over, and I thought there must be something there if they want to have a look.
Look up a video. There'll be a video trending of her going against anti-woke shit, which is great. Fuck that shit. Ridiculous.
And if she does, it's not going to be real anyway. There'll be some agenda behind it.
It's just the divisive left-right paradigm. It's just the left-right paradigm. The left will fight the right, and everyone fucking liberal. They're not even left or fucking. You know what I mean? Like they're all globalist whores, corporate fucking prostitutes. In the end of the day, they're just promoting this fucking whatever trash circus. Trash circus. That's what it is.
Smoke and mirrors to be seen to be doing.
It's like if you paid money to go to the circus and you walk in there, it's just a pile of garbage. That's all it is. Anyway. Yeah, fucking. It's confusing, Brendan, because no one's really what they say they are. I think left is supposed to be more progressive, and right's just traditional, sort of nationalist. Left seem to be more globalist, but at the end of the day, they'll just do whoever fucking pays them and tells them what narrative to.
In the past, look, people were easy.
I don't think he was proven a fake, was he, Ziggy? Because fucking he was the only one who said about that fucking Ice 2 fucking 105 or whatever, that heavy metal, before it was even proven to exist on the periodic table, and now it exists there. Yeah, they called him a whack for even talking about that fucking shit. I ain't saying that there was some fucking heavy fucking element that could fucking fuel a spacecraft that didn't exist on the fucking periodic table and that until fucking they proved it in fucking CERN or something.
Yeah, in the hadron. That's why the whole entire
smashing
world,
atoms together. I believe they do.
That's why the world had cyclotrons, and that's why the world built what they're called now.
Look at this.
They're not called cyclotrons when they're certain size. They're called particle collider. And it all because of the man who theorized that this is what would happen. These are the chain of elements. This is what will happen. You do this, then you get that one. You get this one. You get that one. So Bob Lazar, being a scientist at least, he would have known that, and he would have been able to just go, fucking the likelihood they're going to find it, basically 100%. The man's been right the whole way through so far. They'll find it one day. But that's not the thing. What you want to find out is, did he really go to school, and did he really work at Area 51? They're the two things you want to know. And if you can at least find them out, then pretty much what he's saying, you might as well believe it. Because they say he doesn't even work there, and he was never smart enough and never went to a school or had a degree. So if you can find anything like that says he is or has, or well, then it lays more credence to his story, his version of events. And someone tried to say to me he can't be credible because he was having an affair, but his missus was having an affair at the same time. right? So the government was spying on her, right, or spying on him enough that they seen that she was doing that. Surely they would have known who he was, but they would have brought it up because they would have used it to hurt him, and he would like discredit him. Yeah, I don't know about it. Dude. I got no idea. But the element thing, yeah, that's not like definitive proof that he knew what was going on. Just means the dude who came up with it, Higgs boson, who came up with the idea, was spot on.
Higgs boson is the fucking God particle. That's a different thing to what Lazar talked about.
No. The man on the science that found it.
Yeah, but it's still a different thing to what Lazar talked about.
Yeah, but he'd already predicted all the other particles they found. But he died before they found, and they'll find more again. He's long dead though, but he theorized that this is what you would get, and so far it's been exactly how he said. And that's why, again, I believe Lazar was a scientist, at least, because in the 80s, like, yeah, all right, I was a little kid and shit, right? But still, it's like, how would he know about something like that in a world where there's no internet, where if you want to know something that particular, you have to go and hunt that shit down. It's not like it's just playing on the news or on TV shows. So he definitely has a scientific background for him to even theorize, to even know to go, all right, yeah, they'll find this particle. Yeah, discrediting. Yeah, that's basically what they do. I mean, they say he didn't go to university, he didn't have a degree or whatever, he didn't work there at Area 51, but then you find little evidences that say that he went to this university, he did actually go to Area 51, they have like something to do with a bus or a plane that took him there. People remembered him or something.
I got a 5-minute video I'll play.
Phone calls galore.
An hour and 50 minutes.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he's passed 30 years of scrutiny as well.
Water's your only problem.
And he wouldn't have been able to take them to those fucking bits out. Oh, maybe, but like not really without knowing intimately the fucking base and what would have been able to be overlooking the base realistically. Now you can't get anywhere near those mountains that he took his mates to show them the craft that was flying in and out.
No, because after he that became a destination.
Yeah, they extended the fucking boundaries then.
To get to that place, used to where the black letterbox. So the government bought that area all the way to the mountains.
Yeah, they extended.
Yeah, you used to be able to stand up there and watch. Just look down into the place and take off.
Why is there an
echo? Echo. coming through Monty's.
Is that better now?
Yeah.
Mm.
And yeah, S4 was up the road or up the lake. So they had the lake, Groom Lake or whatever, Area 51, and then like it's like salt beds or dry lake beds or whatever. Fucking further up north way, I think it was, in the side of a mountain was S4. But all that stuff gets found eventually. Like obviously they're running one somewhere that we don't currently know.
I reckon they're just further in on the base now there in that area because it's more than just fucking S4 Area 51. There's like fucking hot white sands missile fucking range there as well. It's fucking where they do a live fire fucking missile tests and they'll launch them fucking the ocean and have them land in there. Fucking F-16s, 15s, 18s, all fucking launching fucking cruise missiles, testing them off themselves. Fucking weapons testing huge through there. But there's a couple of little fucking area fucking somethings that there's inside there where they reckon they moved fucking what was going on.
Yeah.
Because fucking originally Area 51 was mainly just for fucking, what's his name? Yeah, fucking Skunk Works.
Yeah.
Kelly Slater. Oh, not Kelly Slater. Fucking Kelly Johnson and Skunk Works. Lockheed Martin. U2, then fucking YF, fucking Oxcart.
Johnson's Designs. I would be surprised if they're still using his stuff now or there's stuff on the drawing board that just materials weren't around for him to create yet. He's well ahead of his time, that man.
They don't retire shit without having the replacement usually, and I don't think satellites fucking replace their SR-71.
No, they're still trying to replace it. I thought they
already I reckon they would have. I reckon they have.
Yeah, well, not an official one. Yeah.
No, not official, and they never would have admitted fucking SR-71 while it was in service either, until it was like fucking 2 years from retirement.
Well, a lot of those
U2 would never have been admitted to if it didn't get shot down.
A lot of those planes that were built for, spying and stealth and that, they weren't told to the public until the people we didn't want to know about it had surmised that we got it or figured out a way to partially track it, or then we're like, oh, look what we built. Yeah, they hold on to them for a while before they let us know, even though our money helped build them. Like, I understand why, but man, I'd like to know where they're sitting now, what tech they're talking about using now, because what we're about to see is even old. Like NGAD will even be old. Like they'll already have better stuff on the drawing board.
100%.
On the drawing board might not be feasible yet though, until they fucking have more better materials. And even though they might be able to produce one prototype, they'll not be able to put it into mass production. So even that doesn't fucking guarantee that it'll get even to build one, 3.
You ever think about how good their fucking video game technology would be and the cunts are fucking keeping it from us? Imagine the consoles or the fucking PCs they've got or whatever. The drip feeding is fucking bullshit like Metaverse. Fucking PS5. What a load of shit.
Yeah.
Fucking terrible.
The stuff they use for pilot
the
training.
same game over and over and over again with slightly better fucking graphics and more complicated shit. Seriously, the video game industry is fucked now. Because you've got like a few companies, greedy fucking cunts, monopolizing everything. This is what they do.
You can buy
shit.
You buy like $600, $700 VR. And
it's fucking shit technology. It's fucking garbage. That's why no one's buying them. They fucking
and look how good that can look. Like obviously some games are dulled down, but like fishing games like that, Like when you hold a fish up, the fish looks real. I don't know if it's video.
Why they
footage
don't have that yet? Yeah, there's only one reason. The classic example is the fucking phone charger. How many different fucking phone charger cable ends do they have to be before they get the fucking right one?
Yeah.
How is that like logical? Other than they want you to buy another fucking charger.
That's just business trying to find a way for you to buy something quicker than you need to, because laws are in place to stop them, or meant to be there to stop them from screwing you over.
What did you have for dinner?
If it goes up into space, it can be tracked, Wally. I don't think they'll be able to hide it from fucking going over Antarctica and being hypersonic. If it's fucking like up in space, it's going to be able to shoot down easy. Once it comes down into atmosphere and gives less time, fucking, then it's something to worry about. If it can travel fucking that fast and loads close to the ground, it doesn't allow radars to see it. So then we have to worry.
What am I missing?
If she goes up into space, she's shot down easy. If they require it to go up to space first before they can launch their attack, the Yanks have got them.
Yeah. On the way up, you're done. It's on the way down, that's your best chance of survival.
And Yanks can still intercept fucking low orbit fucking ballistic missiles. It's what Patriot PAC-3 missiles for. So THAAD is to hit them outside the atmosphere. PAC-3 hits them inside. And there's at least 2 more fucking forms of missile defense Americans have that's unclassified. Or declassified. Like, that isn't classified. That's still classified, I mean.
Classified.
Yeah, still classified. They declassified THAAD and PAC-3. They have 2 still classified.
Didn't hypersonic just get declassified recently?
Hypersonic, most of it will still be classified. Same with the engine, especially with the engine tech and whatever they've got to defend the seeker and radar head on them, because the plasma that builds up on it fucking stops the seeker from being able to, or the radar head from being able to see what it needs to hit.
It would be creating some sort of a electromagnetic field when the plasma is being created.
Yep, and it's little mini MP stops the fucking electronics from being able to see out of it and see what they need to hit.
They want to run it further down the missile, or maybe in the rear, or
maybe if they build a little flare onto the top of it, they can make that plasma sit half a fucking foot off the body maybe and fucking look out through the gap. Who knows what they do to fucking solve that shit? I just know the problems they have to.
I like that. I think it was you maybe sent me the link with the coal dust. Chinese running coal dust in their hypersonic engine.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty smart. I mean, that shit's highly explosive. We just would have thought, oh, that's old tech.
One landed in Africa somewhere too, is he? But apparently there's fucking any evidence, and fucking other than the first-hand testimony from people that say they were there, like, and they get shot down as cranks, so I mean, no one has fucking photos or fucking shit. Willingly gave them up. If they did have them, or willingly gave them up to the investigators that pretended to come and look into it for their vested interest.
That thing Ziggy put in the chat, that was on the news. I think that was in New South Wales somewhere, wasn't it, Ziggy?
I'm pretty sure there's accusation about them fucking... I remember seeing a documentary on that. I don't know whether there's some sort of accusation that they're all mass hallucinating or on something that could have.
Dude, I was also seen one in Russia where this thing landed in a park in Russia, and these three things got out and just started walking around. People were first just standing around looking. Then some people started yelling, and some people started running, and that was one of the realest ones I ever seen. These things turn around pretty quick once the noise started picking up. People start yelling and screaming and shit. They got back in their little thing and took off.
Can you
like a
send
ball.
that to me?
Like people wouldn't have been screaming and fucking running if as it was coming down the fucking land. Like you'd wait for three fucking people to get out and fucking walk around.
Like it came out of nowhere and then boom, it was there on the ground. Like you seen it come down, but it wasn't like it was noisy or anything.
Still, there's that many people in cities and that always looking everywhere. Would have come down past people's floors.
That's why it's one that I like, because it landed in
South Africa,
a populated area. So many people seen it, and they all swear that this is what happened, and they're just all told the same thing. You're all nuts.
I reckon fucking that can be a habit within people to want to please and stuff, so we'll start telling the same story as each other.
There is some blurry camera footage.
Just happened to blur that day.
I don't know if it was like a lot of mobile phones back then. I think it was like a building security cam. Just happened to catch part of the park. I think it landed like in this part of the shot, and then you see him come out.
Can you get this up on the screen?
And they sort of split up for a sec, and then you start seeing people freaking out, and then they sort of group back together, and then they go back to the ship and leave.
Well, it's like listening to someone that went to see a movie and now they're telling you about the movie instead of you watching the movie.
Where'd it go?
What?
I put it up there and you put it down.
What? You want me to share it? I don't have it.
I thought you said you were sharing something.
No, I was saying PTP put it up.
Oh, to share that video. I seen it. I did. I remember seeing it.
Oh man. Can you put it on?
But I thought the same. I thought that might have been just fake.
I'm fucking useless at that, bro. I couldn't even tell hook out why people with a muted, with a no video will drop down out of me fucking thinger.
You guys remember fucking, I don't know, it was in 94, 96, I think, maybe even 2006, fucking a naked dude getting in Buckingham Palace, like fucking climbing out of Buckingham Palace down on fucking bed sheets.
Happened twice, but yeah.
Yeah, and he fell. Yeah, fucking Mark sent it to me the other day, like fucking.
Yeah, I'll play it.
These fucking French tourists, right? They hardly react, right? You're like, fucking, you'd think fucking the cunts would start fucking, trying to point, because there's a whole heap of fucking Queen's Guard marching in front of them, and they don't even point out to any one of them that this cunts climbing down the window. Fucking out the window. Full flat the fucking ground.
They probably seen that in the corner of their eye and just stood up. They're at it again.
Great fucking video. All right, I'll share. This is one of my favorites. All right.
ਪੰਜਾਬ ਅਤੇ ਦੇਸ਼ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਦੀਆਂ ਹੋਰ ਖਬਰਾਂ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਪੜ੍ਹਨ ਲਈ ਕਲਿੱਕ ਕਰੋ www.abpsaja.in ਤੇ।
Yep, this is it.
ਦੇ ਬਕਿੰਗਮ ਮਹਿਲ 'ਚ ਇੱਕ ਅਜੀਬ ਘਟਨਾ ਹੋਈ। ਇਹ ਘਟਨਾ
I am the Liver King.
ਚਰਚਿਤ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ। ਇੰਗਲੈਂਡ ਦੇ ਬਕਿੰਗਮ ਮਹਿਲ ਦੇ ਇੱਕ ਨੌਜਵਾਨ ਚਾਦਰ ਦੇ ਸਹਾਰੇ
It fucking falls a long way. Oof, down he goes.
ਵੀਡੀਓ ਸਾਰੇ
Is that the Liver King before steroids?
They're fucking laughing.
Yeah, they're just laughing like, what the fuck happened then?
ਮਹਿਲ ਖਿੜਕੀ ਚੋਂ ਹੇਠਾਂ ਉਤਰਦਾ ਵਿਖਾਈ ਦੇ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ। ਮਹਿਲ ਦੇ ਬਾਹਰ ਖੜੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੇ ਇਸ ਪੂਰੇ ਦ੍ਰਿਸ਼ ਨੂੰ ਵੇਖਿਆ। ਇਹ ਨੌਜਵਾਨ ਕੌਣ ਸੀ? ਮਹਿਲ ਚੋਂ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਕਿਉਂ ਉਤਰਿਆ?
Is that Buckingham Palace?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, that's Buckingham.
How do you know?
Because that's the only one with them fucking raw. That's the one that's in the middle of London. Look at that shit.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Someone said it was somewhere else.
They got shit tons of them.
So, yeah, I thought it was Buckingham Palace because of the title. I didn't question it, and then someone said that's not even Buckingham Palace; it's somewhere else. Yeah.
Is it or not? I don't know. Like fucking Buckingham's pretty big, eh? It'd be
Well,
fucking
what we'd have
four
to do
fucking
is
sides of it.
get Google Maps Buckingham Palace and then compare. But
You don't reckon it's London? I reckon it would be. That's
I don't
different.
know. How would I know? I don't
I
know.
reckon it's London. I don't think it's fucking Scotland. It's definitely not Edinburgh Castle.
Mm.
Yeah, most likely, Wally.
So are we gonna end the show now? So 8 o'clock.
King B time. Tassie 2 TV.
Mm.
Tassie 2's on tonight, isn't he?
Mm.
Yeah.
We better jump off then. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you for sharing things tonight, Sunshine, as always. Jumping up PTV.
No problem, man.
Thank you, Tassie.
Hey, Hook. See you at Tassie 2's.
See you all day.